Waste Management has been using natural gas trucks since the mid-1990s. We started out with CNG in Palm Desert, California. Most of our fleet grew in California because of the requirements for lower emissions, energy efficiency, and one of the things that we found with the increasing costs of diesel is that natural gas is much less expensive to operate. Natural gas is one of the least expensive energy sources available in North America. It's readily abundant, and there's lots of ways for us to produce it, even internally in our own landfills.
Waste Management also found that drivers appreciated natural gas power for their vehicles.
After about a week or two of driving them, they realized how much better the natural gas engines were. They were no longer smelling the diesel fumes. The engines were quieter. They didn't have to wear earplugs while they're operating the trucks. They could actually listen to the radio, and if they had a passenger with them, you could actually have a conversation without shouting. So it was quite a positive change for our drivers.
CNG vehicles are refueled at natural gas fueling stations. CNG fuel stations can be designed to meet fleet requirements, with the major difference being the vehicle.
We've seen, as we've transitioned more to the time fill capacities of a CNG fleet, that there's certainly a savings in our labor, and by being able to go straight to their parking spot and to plug in the time fill and to do their post-trip and get off the clock that much quicker, we certainly see a labor savings.
Time fill is different from fast fill in that the fueling process takes place over a period of hours, usually overnight. Maintaining an NGV is similar to maintaining.
It is a far easier unit to work on. And as the 2010 diesels came out and we saw the maintenance challenges that were involved with that platform, that it made sense to go CNG. Modern electronics and the control systems that are in place, that CNG just makes sense.
The most important aspect of this care is periodic inspection. Federal standards require that CNG cylinders be visually inspected after a motor vehicle accident or fire, and at least every 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first, for damage and deterioration. A CNG cylinder typically expires after 15 or 20 years. At that point, it must be removed from the vehicle and disposed of properly and safely.
Time or slow fill stations are typically used when vehicles are parked between shifts and can take several hours to refuel. But time fill stations are less costly to build and operate and are often the choice for fleets that are not active overnight.
At this facility, we have what's called a time fill CNG fueling station. Basically, you take gas out of the pipeline, compress it to 3,600 psi, and fuel the entire fleet simultaneously through a cascade filling system. So there's very little labor involved. You don't have someone waiting in line to fuel their truck up, like what's common at our diesel fleets, where we have drivers waiting in line for other drivers to fuel, and it can take upwards of 15 minutes to fuel one truck.
Time fill and fast fill stations are temperature compensated.
Before you order, whatever configuration of vehicles you're going to order, it's absolutely one of the key components to consider is what is your fueling strategy, and get involved with somebody like Agility.